President Trump today took a break from his vacation to issue this extraordinary threat to North Korea.
North Korea best not make any more threats to the United States. They will be met with fire and fury like the world has never seen. He has been very threatening beyond a normal statement. And as I said, they will be met with fire, fury, and frankly power, the likes of which this world has never seen before.
Hold it now.
Let's talk about North Korea and President Trump's use of the words fire and fury. So President Trump, responding to North Korea's belligerent talk and actions, had said that they might be in for some fire and fury. President Trump's critics have said, my God, you can't escalate things like that, and you're just making things worse by talking in such non-diplomatic terms. Let me explain to you why fire and fury is actually really good persuasion. Here's the first part, and there are several parts to this. The first part is that fire and fury is visual. If I've taught you nothing, it's that visual persuasion is the strongest kind, and fear is the strongest, emotional persuasion. So if you can put a visual on a fear, you have the two strongest techniques in persuasion.
Back on our breaking news here, multiple sources say U.S. intelligence analysts have assessed that North Korea has achieved a miniaturized nuclear warhead. So, Sarah Murray, let me just bring you back in over in New Jersey covering the president there. We were just talking about this, scrum or Q&A with the president as he was addressing the opioid crisis in the country. And apparently he made news because he did react to this North Korea report. What did he say?
That's right. As we expected, he was asked about this, and the president issued a very stern warning to North Korea. Until we get the video, I'm going to just read you what the president just said. He said, North Korea best not make any more threats to the United States. They will be met with fire and fury like the world has never seen. They will be met with fire, fury, and frankly, power, the likes of which the world has never seen. Now, we know some of the other president's top advisors said all options are on the table when it comes to dealing with North Korea. They've made clear that that includes the military option. Obviously, we'll be waiting to see if they offer any more details on how they plan to deal with this as the day proceeds, Brooke.
The second part of this is that, and people who don't negotiate for a living just simply don't know this part. All right, so the part I'm telling you now is something that experienced negotiators all know, but inexperienced negotiators don't know at all. All right? And that is that being irrational is a huge advantage in negotiating. Today I tweeted a story in Business Insider that does a great job of explaining how North Korea has been pretending to be irrational because it's just smart negotiating. And by far, it was their best play for defense to act like they were not only building nuclear weapons, but damn it, they would use it in a heartbeat. We're so freaking crazy, we'll kill our own relatives right in front of you. We'll do all kinds of crazy shit. So once you believe that they are crazy, then you also believe that they would use their nuclear weapons. And that's what gives you deterrent. It's not just the weapons. You need to have the weapons, and the other side needs to think you're so crazy that you would use them. All right? That's what North Korea sold to us, and we bought. What President Trump just sold back to North Korea, and this is the fun part, is crazy.
Even some in the president's own party calling his words dangerous.
All it's going to do is bring us closer to some kind of serious confrontation. I think this is very, very, very serious. The great leaders that I've seen they don't threaten unless they are ready to act.
When I search John McCain on YouTube, the biggest thing that comes up is you singing Bomb, 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 Iran. 744,000 hits, in case you haven't checked it recently. Are you proud or embarrassed of that?
I'm proud. Look, when I'm in the company of veterans, which I was, and one of them says to me, when are you going to send a message to Iran?
Bomb Iran? You know, bomb, 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 bomb. Anyway.
Do you know why North Korea shows us the images of the rockets taking off? Because they've combined fear and visual imagery. Seeing the rocket take off is way different than just hearing that it took off. Way different. All right? So they gave us fear and visual persuasion, two, nuclear, war-ready levels of persuasion. President Trump just gave it back to him with fire and fury. All right, he gave it back to him visually, and he gave it back to him with fear and unpredictability. So now it's a tie.
Well, North Korea is now responding specifically and mentioning specifically President Trump's comments about being met with fire and fury. The Korean People's Army responding in a statement. It says sound dialogue is not possible with such a guy, the president, bereft of reason, and only absolute force can work on him. The statement says North Korea is seriously examining a plan to envelop Guam with 4 missiles around the island. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson is returning from several days in Asia, meeting with allies and China and Russia to convince them to cut off North Korea's international economic activity and financing.
Yeah, we should be talking about war as being the last resort. But have you noticed that Trump and Tillerson have turned into good cop, bad cop? Has anybody noticed that? So you've got Tillerson saying, well, let's be careful what we're doing. Let's take it one step at a time. I'm paraphrasing, let's be careful and, do all our diplomatic stuff and let's talk about this. Let's meet. Maybe we can work something out. And meanwhile, they talk to the boss, and what's the boss say? They're going to be met with fire and fury if they don't shut up.
Then today, Rex Tillerson sending a message of his own, landing in Guam, offering very different words.
I think Americans should sleep well at night.
The Secretary of State striking a much softer tone.
What the president's doing is sending a strong message to North Korea in language that Kim Jong-un would understand.
And by the way, he's perfect for it because he's the unpredictable one, right? So the bad cop is the one who's unpredictable. So that's Trump. The good cop is the one you want to satisfy. You're like, oh, God, can we at least talk to the good cop for a minute? Like, bad cop is scaring the hell out of us. Where's good cop? Can we talk to good cop? Oh, Rex Tillerson. He seems completely stable and reasonable. Maybe we can work something out with the good cop. Do you think any of this is a coincidence? Now, I think some of it is just the difference in their personalities, so that part is a coincidence. But it's not an accident that they allow it to exist. It's not an accident that Tillerson and Trump, two of the smartest negotiators maybe in the world, right? The people who understand the realm of negotiating better than maybe any two people you could find in the world, right? Is it a coincidence that they formed this perfect good cop, bad cop situation, which is insanely strong? And the reason it's a famous thing is because it works. And you've got North Korea scared to death by the bad cop.
Mr. President, do you ever consider negotiations under different circumstances?
Sure. We'll always consider negotiations, but they've been negotiating now for 25 years. Look at Clinton. He folded on the negotiations. He was weak and ineffective. You look what happened with Bush. You look what happened with Obama. Obama, he didn't even want to talk about it. But I talk.